Greetings, my name's Eric and my call is N0NKI. If you own a hotspot and you use it to access the DMR network, odds are pretty good that you've got some changes you need to make immediately to your account. Brandmeister decided to implement unique passwords for logging in. Some of you may know that the password to connect to the DMR network was simply password with the O replaced with a zero, PASSW0RD. Um, that's the way it's been since the beginning, 4+ years now. And if you've got a hotspot, odds are pretty good you're still using that. I believe it was about a year ago, Brandmeister implemented the idea of hotspot security. And I just learned on Thursday night that they intended to enforce that in the coming week. The U.S. Master 3101 was going to be the first to implement this coming Friday. That's what I heard last night. And here it is Friday. And I've since learned that they've already implemented it. I guess next Friday, when you say that on Thursday, could have been as early as tomorrow, but I thought we had till December. I went searching Google and other places to try to find confirmation that the hotspot security is going to be enforced. I really couldn't find anything. I've been to the Brandmeister news webpage and didn't see much mention of it. And did a Google search for Brandmeister hotspot security. I see a couple of new YouTube videos in just the past couple hours and days. These things weren't visible literally 3 hours ago when I went searching for them. I guess we've all decided to create YouTube videos. In fact, this is my very first YouTube video, so welcome to my premiere page. Um, anyhow, if you've got a hotspot, odds are you need to implement security on your account. And I wanted to walk you through how to do that to some extent anyhow. So if you have a Brandmeister SelfCare account, you want to log directly into that, but I'm guessing many of you don't. What you'll need to do is go to brandmeister.network, and on this website, if you don't have an account, you'll click on register. If you have an account, you'll click on password. If you think you have an account and don't know your password, go ahead and click on login. And there's a reset link right here. Forgot your password. It'll ask you for your email address and call. And if they match, it'll send you an email with a reset link, as I recall. Now, I haven't actually used that myself in a while. But the rest of you, if you don't have a SelfCare account, you're going to want to click on register. Enter your call sign, email address. This will be a personal user account, unless you own a repeater. Then I'm sure you already have an account. Well, maybe you don't, come to think of it, if you've been connected to another network. Anyhow, I think you're going to be choosing personal user account. This password, I want to call attention to this. This is not the password that you use on your hotspots. This is the password that you use to access your SelfCare account. They are different. You'll choose a new password, you'll enter it twice. This one you want to keep extra secure, maybe use a password manager, and you'll be prompted for the question, what's the wavelength of the 70 centimeter band? I gave it away, right? 70. And you'll need to enter in one of your DMR IDs. Presumably you're already a DMR user, have a DMR radio, and that radio's got an ID number in it. In Minnesota, they used to start 3127 and 3 digits after. They're going to be 7 digits long. Enter in one of those numbers, click the I'm not a robot link. You'll have to go through one of these CAPTCHAs. We'll click on where we see cars and verify. And then click the register link. Now, here's the sad news. This is still a manual process and can take up to 48 hours. Given that a large number of people don't have access and are going to be requesting accounts right now, I can see it taking quite a while. Again, I learned this just a few hours ago, that at 11 p.m. last night, the Master 3101 blocked users using the default credentials, and presumably it's coming this next Friday, although I wouldn't be surprised if it happens sooner, that if you're using the central master server, the 3102, that will also be blocked. And I don't know if the final master in the US is 3103. I don't know if that gets cut off next week or if there's an extra week. But anyhow, odds are you've already been cut off, or it's coming in less than 2 weeks. Might be as little as less than a week away. So you need to get this Brandmeister SelfCare account established right away. Again, it's a manual process. This could take 48 hours. It may even take longer given the number of people that are going to be requesting accounts right now. Once you have a SelfCare account, let me walk you through that as well. Um, I don't know if I've logged in here before. I think actually I'm going to switch browsers. I'm going to switch browsers a couple of times, so I'm getting lost here. Sorry for all my screen real estate. So this is the minnesotadmr.com website. I put a little post up here as well. But if you log into your Brandmeister account and click on your call sign, or you can also find it under services here. We're looking for the link that says SelfCare. I'll click on my call sign so you can see that it's also here under SelfCare. When we log into SelfCare, you got to enter your password there. You'll have tabs for each one of your DMR radio IDs. Most of you will have just one, possibly two. This is kind of a unique case. I've been on DMR for quite a while. In fact, the only reason that you should have more than one ID is if you're supporting SMS messages and you need to go between Chinese radios and Motorola radios. They handle things a little bit different in the formatting of SMS messages. But anyhow, you'll have your DMR ID up here. You want to select the DMR ID that you're using for your hotspot, and to go down here and click this toggle switch to turn on hotspot security, and then you can type in a password. You'll notice I've already got hotspot security turned on, and there's no way to see what my password is. You'll need to remember this password. Now, something I want to mention about this password: this does not need to be crazy and complex. For 4+ years, we've been getting by with every single user using the password to password. So, you might choose a radio brand or choose a kid's name or something like that. You don't need to get too wild. And I'm in the security business, so it feels weird saying that, but I've heard a rumor that certain products can't handle parsing passwords that consist of special characters. I've even heard another YouTuber say that you can't mix uppercase and lowercase with digits. I know for a fact that works. I have a password that's quite a bit more complex than that, but I would agree maybe staying away from special characters might be best for a lot of hotspots that aren't really robust with their setup. So choose a basic password here, something that only you know, but something that you can remember, as you won't be able to see it. And note that this is way different than your SelfCare password when you logged in. For that you want a good and secure password. But for hotspot security, use something simple. I'm not going to enter mine right now. So yeah, you need to get yourself a SelfCare account. You need to turn on hotspot security. As soon as you do this, you will no longer be able to connect, or your hotspots will no longer be able to connect using the default password. So we need to go over how you update that, and there's many different kinds of hotspots. Actually wanted to show you, I'm using something called DV Switch. I'm running this in a virtual machine right here, and DV Switch is configured a little differently. There's a command line tool called DVS, which is relatively new, but if you want to know right where to make this change, you can nano the file and /opt, and then capital MMDVM bridge / hopefully you can see this on the screen here, and then mmdvm_bridge.ini. That's the file we want to edit. If you go in here, you can see this particular one. I still have the default password. We'll scroll down until we get to DMR. I'm sorry, it'll be DMR network. DMR network here. You can see this is the master that I'm connecting to. You don't want to change the port or jitter or any of these things, but this password, you'll want to change that to whatever your password was. Maybe you chose, simple9. Whatever you entered for your password over there on the SelfCare page for hotspot security, that's what you want to put in this configuration file. I'll leave that alone here for a minute and see if I can show you how to do this with Pistar, which is very popular. I obviously have a lot of windows open, so want to figure out where I left it. Sorry. That's what edits are for, right? All right, now I know where it is. Right here. So in my network here, I have a Ubiquiti environment, and so I'm going to log into my Wi-Fi router's control panel. For a lot of folks, this might be the IP address 192.168.1.1. It's often the first IP address on your network or whatever your default gateway is. Um, I'll go ad lib here a little bit. Oh, sorry, let me change screen so you can see more. From your Windows computer, you can type the command ipconfig, and now mine's going to be very complicated. Yours probably won't be so much, but if you look at either your wireless LAN adapter or your cabled Ethernet, whichever one you've got an active address on, you'll often see default gateway. That's the address that you might try loading. In my case, I'm a Unify network, and what I need to do is try to find the IP address for the pistar. And mine would be in this list. I'm going to just jump over to it rather than searching for it. Here is my pistar installation that has not yet been set up with a new password. What you want to do is click on configuration, and you'll be prompted for a username and password. I believe it's pi-star and pi-star, but I don't actually recall what the defaults are. You can learn about that at Pistar's website, but you're going to scroll down to where it says DMR configuration and where it says hotspot security and type in a password. Now that's a pretty simple password, actually. Let me put that in there and click apply changes. Now theoretically, that's all you need to do. This should be restarting the services or restarting the network config. I might suggest rebooting the host altogether, although that seemed to work. Here you go, stopping services and applying your configuration changes. So I'm going to even take that back. Don't bother rebooting. Once you've changed that and set up hotspot security, if you go to dashboard, you should be able to see, the things are working. I'm in another state altogether from where this hotspot is at the moment. And I'm just going to try keying up in a second with my DMR radio here, and we'll see it show up on the dashboard. N0 NKI. And there it is. So I know that I'm on the network. Had a little bit of packet loss there, which is interesting. But there you go. So we successfully set password security up on our pistar. We also did a quick look at the DV switch software, if I can find that again, and that little window right there, set our password, and you'd want to save this file after making that change, and then well, you got a sudo. I didn't do a sudo before that command, so we'll do sudo and the command, type the password, find that here, and change this. There's my super secure password. That's not my password, by the way. That's what editing is all about. But save this file, and then you can do a reboot. Hopefully that's helped you a little bit. Again, you need to do this right away. If you're watching this video, hopefully you've done it already. If not, you'd better get on it. Create that account so that you can log in and make the changes. 73 guys, N0NKI out.